What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today I'm going to be summoning on this Lagoose banner that we have got with Caineghis, Mordecai, Lethe, and Ranulf. So let us begin. I haven't really done any kind of forging bond yet, so I don't really have any kind of summon tickets, so hopefully I can get Caineghis on my free summon. That would be absolutely incredible, but it's going to be a 3-star unit. Okay, lack assist. The story definitely got pretty dark with Ayer's backstory. I was definitely not expecting it to be that dark. I also definitely like Alphonse a lot more now after the third part of this new chapter. That was a pretty good chapter. Poor Ayer. She has suffered so much. Now it makes sense about her codes when you select her, and her voice lines, of course. And that's why she cried so much in the book 3 trailer at the end, in a timeline where Alphonse and Sharina are dead, because they were the only people who actually treated her like a human being. So that got definitely really dark. I mean, I was expecting book 3 to get a bit better. My expectations weren't really all that high, but you know, now the story I think has got pretty good. But still, I dislike how these random units just pop up. Like, she's just telling her story, how her mother tortured her. And here we have got just Caineghis introducing himself as the Lion King or whatever. That's definitely pretty annoying. I mean, I really wish they had some kind of dialogue or lines in a way that these new characters from these banners would react to the story. I mean, their dialogue is something that someone just wrote and they just have that standalone dialogue and story. So that's definitely something I find really, really annoying. I mean, I do understand Lethe and Thrasier can also just have these kinds of contracts with these units, but still, I would like some kind of more interesting dialogue. I obviously know who this unit is. It says right there, so they do not need to tell me that once again. So got Matthew here. Mordecai is also a unit I would really like. I do like him as a character a lot. He's such a wholesome character. Really, really like him. And he's such a good unit, even in Heroes, because he can function really well in Aether raids. So I would definitely like to use him in Aether raids in like the non-light seasons. Okay, so let's go with this greenstone. I really wish Ranulf had more attack. He only has like base 30 attack. Okay, so I'm gonna get Hawkeye. Caineghis is obviously my top priority. Lethe is actually a really good Gale Force unit. She's really, really powerful. Has insane speed, which you would expect, but I was definitely not expecting that kind of attack stat on her. I was expecting a bit more like Ranulf's attack stat on Lethe. But Lethe is better than Ranulf in this game. Okay, so I'm gonna get Henry. Nothing really too interesting on this patch. I mean, Henry has got Ignis, that's pretty much it. That's the most useful thing. Athena. I think Mordecai might get demoted on this banner, but then again, we cannot say anything. They might just not demote anyone, like the Fate's Beast banner. It's really random, I think. So it's definitely disappointing when you like expect a unit to get demoted and they do not get demoted. Thea did get demoted, speaking of demotions. But I mean, Thea is not really unique. She's about as unique as the 30,000 plus arena medals that you have got. Yeah, about as much unique. Okay, I'm gonna get Claire. I would actually like to get Thea because I haven't really got her. I didn't really pull on the blue stones on the Binding Blade banner. So I mean, I would like her for my hero catalog. And I could also get the dragon flowers from Thea. Okay. Got Odin. Sully. This is a bit better batch, I guess, for fodder. At least I've got Moonbow and drawback. I would really like to pull some Soth. Trying to get Caineghis. Okay, I'm gonna get Soren. Hopefully the forging bond is good with the writing. The writing has definitely improved in Fire Emblem Heroes from book 3 onward. I think they just replaced the writers or something, because the quality definitely feels different. Okay, I'm gonna get Saizo. So let us begin with some of the questions. So if you want to leave any kind of question which you want answered by me in a summoning video, you can leave them in the comments, but definitely be sure to use the hashtag question. It makes it really easy for me to find those questions through my YouTube dashboard, so that definitely helps a lot. Alright, so the first question, that's a pretty big name. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that because I know I'm gonna mess it up. So they're asking, how am I supposed to clear Aether raids as a person who hates this mode? I'm currently in tier 17 and I have no mythic heroes. I also fathered my only heir to Beruka for mystic boost, in case you were wondering. So I think you don't need to be tier 21. That's the thing. A lot of these gacha games and also Fire Emblem Heroes really work on the FOMO, which is fear of missing out. The people who are not in tier 21 or in arena and in Aether raids always fear that they are going to be missing out on these reward and stuff, which they are, but it's not like you are not getting any kind of heroic grails or dragon flowers if you're not tier 21. You're still getting them, just at a slower pace. That's really it. And because you said you hate Aether raids, I don't really think you should force yourself to do it. I mean, this is not a job, this is a game, so try to have fun. Do the things which are fun. If you do not like Aether raids, there's no reason for you to like put your resources and make investment to reach tier 21, because you would definitely need investments and specific builds and specific units to do that, and air is definitely needed to reach tier 21. I mean, you get like 30 heroic grails in tier 17, from what I can remember. It was like 32. You're still getting heroic grails, just at a slower pace. I think many people... Okay, I'm gonna get Caineghis. Yes, you know, this is fun. This is fun. Please do not be minus attack. Okay, plus defense minus HP. That's something I can work with. His art is so good. He's so badass. He just beats up gods and dragons in Jesus sandals. Just think about it. He makes Black Knight fear and run away like a little child. That's how badass Caineghis is. I definitely like this art so much. It's one of the best for any kind of Teleus unit. Even this damage art, his expressions, absolutely amazing. Lion King Fang, he's a really good enemy phase unit. I will definitely try him out in Aether raids, but I'm not really a big fan of the super tank strategy. I don't know why. I just do not like using it. I haven't really used either of the super tanks in both of my accounts in Aether raids. I just don't really like it as much. I like using like distant counter vantage or CC vantage. It can get hard, but with the Hardy Bearing Sacred Seal and stuff, but I still at least like enjoy doing it. I don't really enjoy like super tank strategies, so I'll think about it. Yeah, I'm gonna get Caineghis. Wow. So yeah, you shouldn't really force yourself to clear Aether raids. You don't have to do it. You don't need to do it. Just do the things in the game which you have fun, because as Reggie said, if it's not fun, why bother? That's the thing. A lot of people, I think the enjoyment of any game or just anything just diminishes whenever you force yourself to do something. I know, because like I've been doing YouTube for 9 years, and there's definitely been phases where I would force myself to make videos or do certain things, and my fun would just diminish, just absolutely vanish. So I just like to do things which are fun to me. Like theme battles are really fun to make, so I make them. The tier list was not getting fun for me, so just stop the tier list because it was not fun. So that's that. A lot of people have been asking me where's tier list. I made one like last time I updated was in like January of 2018. It has been a long time. I just stopped having fun because the discussion definitely got really toxic and stressful, so I was not having any kind of fun. So yeah, I would say don't really bother too much. I mean, there are some really toxic people who would make fun of you for not reaching tier 21. But the kind of people who are that toxic are actually really miserable themselves and really frustrated with themselves. So at the end of the day, you're much better off compared to them because you're actually having fun. So that's what I mean. Like, don't force yourself to reach Aether raids tier 21. I personally enjoy Aether raids a lot. I did reach tier 21 with both of my accounts I really enjoy the battles. I'm not really too concerned with the grails and stuff, but I can see why people really dislike it because it can get so stressful and the stakes are the highest for Aether raids compared to any other game mode in this game. So I can definitely see why it can get really, really like stressful and not fun. So I see where like people are coming from who do not enjoy this mode. Even I myself don't really play Aether raids like after coming back from college because it's just too stressful. Sometimes, like some of the team compositions are so hard to crack. I mean, it's not their fault. It's the game. I mean, they're just playing the game, but still, I'm just stating, you probably do not want to come back from work or college and relax and think, oh, I'm gonna play Aether raids today. That's just not a thing, man. I mean, if you're not playing to win and if you're fine with losing units and losing few ranks, then that's fine. But yeah, that's my take on that. For the people who do not enjoy this mode and people are constantly talking about Aether raids, you know, do the things which you enjoy. That's simple as that. Okay, so I'm gonna get Shana. Yeah, Desperation Fodder, that's pretty good. So I got Caineghis, my top priority unit from this banner. I think I'm not going to be summoning on the colorless stones. I'm fine with plus defense IV. And Caineghis is such a powerful unit that he can even work like at unmerged. This is the perfect patch because it doesn't have colorless stones. Okay, I'm going to get Florina. Because in Aether raids, especially as a free-to-play player, you will have to invest into like some things and in some units that you might not be a big fan of. I know a lot of people don't like Aversa a lot. They just find her not fun. And Aversa is really good, you know, as a free-to-play option in Aether raids. So, you know, you will have to make investments and I guess trade a bit of your fun in that way. Like a lot of people don't really enjoy making these plus 10 armor units like Gwendolyn and Sheena for arena scoring because they don't really like them as much as characters and they have not even played the games from which they are, so they kind of have to trade the fun sometimes, I feel like. So you definitely have to decide, especially as a free-to-play with limited resources, if you want to have fun with playing with your favorites. And some of the people, you know, they find the competitive feeling as a lot of fun, you know, the competitiveness of any kind of game mode really, really fun. So, you know, they invest into that because they find that fun. So it definitely depends on person to person, but they said that they hate Aether raids, so that's why I said that. Okay, 3.50. Alright. Mordecai. Come on, please show up. Mordecai does have pretty big chances of getting demoted. I mean, at the same time, I want to not summon on the Bluestones because I have slight feeling that he might get demoted. But at the same time, I also want to summon because if he doesn't get demoted, then it's going to be bad because I actually really like him as a character. And he's a really good unit too. Another character which I really like was Har. They completely massacred him. Absolutely destroyed. He's like a worse Jerome and a worse Shershi. I mean, many people will say, you know, they translated him well from Radiant Dawn. You know how his, you know how he should be, but he doesn't work. Like he doesn't give the same amount of performance as he did in Radiant Dawn in Fire Emblem Heroes. So I think they should try to make units that match the performance of their original game. I think sometimes what they do is that they simply just convert like the growth rates from their main game to Fire Emblem Heroes and call it a day. They don't really check for the performance because if they did, we wouldn't have Seth and we wouldn't have Carla as the units they are. So yeah, I'm kind of salty about that. But I mean, Har isn't something that is just unusable. He's still pretty good because at the end of the day, we are comparing him to Shershi, one of the best flyers in the game. So, you know, he's not really all that far off, but he isn't very unique. So that's the thing. So the people who would want to invest into Har already like Har a lot as a character. That's the thing. It doesn't give you a reason to invest into him much if you already have a Shershi with merge and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna get Seliph and Erika. Okay, so we are at 3.75. Let's get on to the next question. Okay, so the next questions are actually pretty similar. I mean, I did get 2 questions with pretty much the same thing. So they are just asking me, you know, I played Megaman Battle Network before because I've talked about that in my videos and also on Twitter. And they wanted to ask me how many of them I've played and which one is my favorite. And the second question is asking me which one did I start with. So I started with Mega Man Battle Network 1 and I've played all of them. My favorite one is definitely Mega Man Battle Network 3. That one is so good. That one is so amazing. I absolutely love that. The only thing I do not like about that game is that you need to have friends who have that game to complete like the full chipset to complete the game 100%, because some of the chips which you can get is only done by trading. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember it correctly, because that's one thing I used to dislike. So Mega Man Battle Network 3 with really good story, really good characters. Speaking of characters, I'm gonna get Lethe here.
Lethe.
She's a red cavalry beast, definitely very unique. She is plus resistance minus HP. Okay, everyone has to be minus HP today, I guess. Even though she's plus resistance, she's still really powerful. She's got attack speed solo built into her weapon, which is pretty insane. Hone Beasts. She's drawn by the same artist who drew Azura, the original version. Alright. So I got Lethe. I think I still find like Tibarn to be a better Gale Force unit, to be honest. I just like Tibarn more. That's also another reason than Lethe. But Lethe is actually really good in Fire Emblem Heroes. So I got her. I think I'm gonna back out. Yeah. Okay, Mordecai and Ranulf. You're the only 2 units left I need to get from this banner. I think I'm gonna go with the colorless stones. Getting another Caineghis would be nice for Distant Defense 4. So colorless, I guess, is gonna be my priority before I back out. Okay, I'm gonna get Setsuna. Alright, so the next question is from the Literal One. I do recognize them. They comment a lot on my videos. They are really active viewers, so I want to thank you for your support. And they're asking, hey PM1, how do you rate the legendary mythic abyssals from easiest to the hardest? So for me personally, the easiest one was legendary Erica's abyssal map. Mainly because I just got lucky there. I tried to make a choke point strategy, and on the first try it worked. So I was able to beat that map in like half an hour or 1 hour, something like that. So that's the fastest abyssal map I've beaten. So personally for me, legendary Erica was the easiest one, but I know most people consider legendary Hector to have the easiest abyssal map. So that's that. And the hardest mythic or legendary hero battle has to be Reed. I'm pretty sure. I will rate Reed, and after that probably legendary Tiki, and after that Yune. Like, those are my top 3 hardest abyssal maps because those took the most amount of time for me. Reed's abyssal map is so insane. I clearly remember that because on the day it came out, I was trying so hard to find an abyssal solution to figure it out with free-to-play units. It didn't work out as much as I wanted, so I had to use Lucius, who wasn't a free unit, but you know, still he was present in 3-star, 4-star pool. I had to do that for abyssal, and I tried on that map so much for so many hours that I didn't sleep that day. And I actually finished the video. I finished the map with Lucius Arden, you know, the ones I used in my abyssal solution, and I rendered the video. I was uploading it, and there was like only 10 minutes left for the video to be uploaded, and I don't know what happened. I just fell asleep, and I had to upload that video few hours late, so I was really pissed, and the day was over. So usually I make the videos for abyssal maps on the day they come out, and the reason why I was so pissed was because I actually beat the map on the same day. I just fell asleep and was not able to click publish. So yeah, I think Reed's is definitely gonna be the hardest map in my opinion, for me at least. That one is pretty insane. Legendary Tiki after that, and after that probably Yune. Okay, so I'm gonna back out. I was fishing for Caineghis right there, got Kaze. Okay, come on, Mordecai and Ranulf. You have to show up. Please. I'm gonna back out then. 158 orbs to go. 3.25. Alright, let's go to the next question. Is your last name 1 or your first name completely Phoenix Master 1? It's the latter, actually. My full name is actually Phoenix Master 1. Yeah. I do have a number in my actual name. I don't really have a last name. I just have a first name. Because last names are just overrated. So I didn't have one. I just have a first name. That's it. And that's my username. Which is misspelled, by the way. So yeah. I'm gonna live with that. So that's fun. Okay, I'm gonna get Matilda and Florina. I'm gonna back out then. Yeah, next question is also from a really active viewer. I do recognize their name and profile picture. I do read pretty much every comment on my videos, so I do recognize the most active viewers and their questions. So the question is, how do you have so much patience when figuring out free-to-play guides and theme team battles? And did you ever try to make a theme battle but wasn't able to do it? P.S. Love your videos, dude. Thank you so much. The patience thing is mainly due to playing a lot of competitive Pokemon as a kid and as a teenager. So, you know, so many times you are on the verge of winning and you have got an Alakazam and the opponent has got their last Pokemon, which is a Tyranitar, and you try to go for a Focus Blast and you actually miss. So at that point, you build up a lot of patience. So that's how I've got a lot of patience, because I've played Pokemon. The RNG in Pokemon is absolutely insane, especially the competitive one. So I used to play a lot of Pokemon Showdown. So that's how I think I've developed my patience. So I just go with the trial and error. I don't really... Okay, I'm gonna get Mordecai. Yes. You know, I'm talking about patience, and Mordecai just shows up because he's a patient man. Thank you so much. He's plus speed. the worst boon for him. But that, you know, that's fine. Minus HP, yeah, everyone is minus HP on this banner. Minus HP Caineghis, minus HP Lethe, minus HP Mordecai. He's got 2 squirrels. He's got this one and one in his hand. Okay, and he's fighting. And in his damage already, he's probably protecting the squirrels in his hand. He's such a good character. I really like him. His weapon also reflects on him as a character really, really well. So only 1 unit left, which is Ranulf. So yeah. And I got a bit sidetracked from the question. So yeah, I just do trial and error. I just try to analyze the enemy units. Try to think of ways of manipulating AI, doing things, you know. A lot of trial and error, definitely. It takes me hours to like make free-to-play guides, especially for the Abyssal maps, for legendary hero battles and mythic hero battles, stuff like that. And as for theme battles, I don't really find them very hard to make, because free-to-play guides are way harder to make, because I have to use the base kits of units. I cannot use any kind of premium skill. And I have like a sample pool of units which I can use in a free-to-play guide. But for theme battles, I can use any unit I want as long as they fit the theme and the game. You know, it's a free real estate basically. So I can run any kind of skill, do anything. So I don't really find theme battles to be hard when making them. And there hasn't been any kind of theme battle where I was not able to do it. I mean, yeah, there has been theme battles where I was not able to use a certain character because they wouldn't just function on that map. One example is Leon's theme battle. When it came out, I tried to make a theme battle. I tried to use the original Erica, but I was not able to do it because, you know, that map was at that time really, really hard. So I had to use the Sacred Memories Erica. So things like that. And the hardest thing for me in theme battles is definitely getting the right special codes, because like for the Legendary Tiki battle I was making, you know, Marth would just say, you know, I must end you as a special code to his friend Tiki. So that wasn't right for the theme battle, and that's the hardest part of making theme battles, just getting the right special code. So I have to do the map again and again and again until I get that special code. So that's the hardest thing for me. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. The next one, in your eyes. Okay, another Beruka. Alright. Alright, so the question was, in your eyes, what makes a Fire Emblem game good, great, amazing? I'm rewriting Sacred Stones, my first Fire Emblem game, but I fear I don't have proper thought process to bring the story in a new direction. So in my opinion, a good Fire Emblem game, an amazing one, has got a good balance in story and gameplay. You know, you could have really good story, pretty good voice acting, dialogues, but the gameplay, if it's not good, then it doesn't really leave an impression. For example, Fire Emblem Echoes, you know, everything about that game is pretty top-notch. The voice acting has got pretty decent story. You know, dialogues are pretty amazing as well. You know, visually, it's really appealing, but the maps are so poorly made. Like, who has fun dealing with, like, Celica's route maps, especially, like, those desert ones? There are so many frustrating maps in Echoes, just bad map design. It isn't even that it's hard, it's just frustrating. So that's the thing, and you have Conquest here with really amazing, fun gameplay. At least in my opinion, I enjoyed it a lot. The gameplay was really amazing in Conquest, but the story, you know, it's so so underwhelming. Like, you have Corrin here, who does not want to take out and kill people, but he still kills people because of Garen. You have Xander, you know, he says he cares for his people, but he doesn't see through his own father. You know, he doesn't question him. That's my problem. And the whole justice is an illusion thing. Oh my god. That pissed me off so much in Conquest. I still like Conquest for his gameplay, but, you know, story, it doesn't have the balance. So perfectly, a Fire Emblem game has to have like a really good story, really good gameplay, but that is not going to be happening idly. So you kind of have to have a balance where the gameplay is actually fun and is a bit of challenging gameplay, not really too easy. But, you know, that can be solved with the difficulty options. You know, that's definitely a thing. So, okay, I'm gonna get Kaden. I wanted Ranulf. Why is he flexing here? I wanted Ranulf. Kaden, I know you're a better unit than Ranulf with your support and your actual attack stat, but wow, this is plus attack. That's actually pretty good. So if I use a super tank strategy in AR, I'll probably use him then. Yeah, I'm just gonna be merging him, I think. Okay. So I'm gonna back out then. So yeah, you need to have a bit of balance between the story and the gameplay, where the gameplay is fun and the story is actually interesting and you are actually trying to see what happens next in the story. The story should just pull you into the game so that you have to play to know what happens next. That's what I find good. You know, compelling characters, good dialogue, good voice acting. You know, if the story is actually good or just even decent, and if the gameplay is also decent, like there's a fair trade-off, then the replayability of the game increases a lot. So people are going to be playing that game years after, you know. So that, I think, is definitely important in making of a good Fire Emblem game. So I'm gonna get 2 green stones. Really hope I get Ranulf here. I got Kaden. Okay, I'm gonna get Corrin. she heard me. She's from Conquest. You know, female Corrin is usually considered to be from Nor because she's on the like the box cover of Conquest, and male Corrin is on Birthright. So she heard me. She's plus attack minus resistance. She's like, okay, you don't like Conquest story? No, I'm gonna make you like it. I'm gonna be plus attack minus resistance. She's actually the infantry unit who can have plus 10 dragon flowers, and she already has 168 BST, I believe. So she's pretty good in that regard. I think I'm gonna just merge her. I could use her for attack speed bond, but you know, I'm not really a fan of those. I already have rally attack speed plus fodder in Valentine Soren, so I'm not really gonna be foddering her off. You know, I still have chances to get Ranulf. Come on. Okay, it's gonna be Titania. I think I'm gonna go with this colorless stone, then just dip. Hopefully it's a Caineghis because okay, it's gonna be Klein. Never mind. If I'm not getting green stones, then I'm definitely gonna be summoning on the colorless stones. Okay, I'm gonna get 3 green stones. It's gonna be Bowie. Bowie should definitely get some kind of preferred weapon. Bowie and May. Definitely really fun characters from Echoes. Really like them a lot as a couple. And Can this be Ranulf? I saw the smoke. This has to be it. I feel like it. You're not Ranulf. Alright, so the next question. I want to start playing Fire Emblem games. Where do I start? So I've answered this before, but I'll just repeat. In my opinion, Fire Emblem Awakening, Birthright, Sacred Stones, and Blazing Sword are some of the best games to start off with. Awakening and Birthright are pretty accessible, so you could definitely go with that. But I would definitely suggest Awakening over Birthright. Yeah, those are the good games to start if you haven't played any kind of main Fire Emblem game before. Okay, I'm gonna go with the colorless one and then just leave. Okay, I'm gonna get Jacob. Jacob just got left in dust. Felicia got a preferred weapon. Jacob got nothing. He's a completely neutral IV Jacob. Okay. Alright, so the next question is from Becky is Best. Love your content as always. You're my favorite Fire Emblem Heroes YouTuber. Thank you so much. Who would you say is your favorite villain in Fire Emblem history? It has to be Orbs. I like him a lot. I like Juke Draw games a lot. So, yeah, Orbs is pretty amazing. I like him a lot. So that has to be my favorite Fire Emblem villain. And after that, probably Berkut. I like Berkut a lot. His voice acting is so good. And he's a type of character you could sympathize with. But that might be because of recency. You know, Fire Emblem Echoes was a recent game. So that might be because of that. Alright, so let's go with 48 Orbs, 3.25. Hopefully I can get Ranulf. I have got Kaden and female Adrift Corin as pity breaks. Both of them are pretty fantastic actually. Alright. Speaking of pity breakers, the next question is regarding that. Have you ever gotten a pity breaker, Enet, that made you so mad you wanted to throw your phone against the wall and then snapping it in half? No, probably not. Yeah, no pity breaker has pissed me off so much. I could get salty, but definitely not as much to throw my phone against the wall. And the first thing is that I'm not even recording on my phone. I record this on my PC. I'm using an emulator, so I don't think it will be a very convenient thing to throw out everything from my desktop, from monitor to the case to everything. So no. Okay, so I'm gonna back out then. 39 Orbs to go. Yeah, Bella is also a really active viewer. I do see their comments on my videos. So once again, thank you for your support. The next question, except for Ganondorf, who is your favorite character in Smash Bros. Ultimate? My next favorite character has to be Snake. I like Snake a lot. Just how he plays. I mean, he plays a really campy and zony game, but still. Zony? Is that a word? I think zoning is the right word. Yeah, I like Snake a lot. And after that, Pokemon Trainer. Yeah, those are the three characters which I really like from a gameplay perspective. So yeah, those are my top three favorite Ultimate characters. Snake is pretty much my secondary. I really have a lot of fun with Snake. I mean, yeah, it's really fun to just wall out your opponent with grenades and just edge guard them for free with your Nikita, you know, but no, I enjoy him a lot. So yeah, Snake. Snake has to be the one. Alright, come on, please give me Ranulf. Look, it's gonna be Nino. The next question. Do you have any good jokes? No, I do not. I just have a lot of bad jokes. And the power of bad jokes is that the person who laughs at bad jokes actually feels bad himself. Because, you know, they're just like, damn, how can I laugh at this bad joke? There must be something wrong with me. So, yeah, I just use bad jokes and puns. And they're pretty powerful. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with those. Thank you for your question. Okay, so I'm gonna get Matilda. Alright. I'm just 20 Orbs down. Let's see if Ranulf can be a clutch summon. Okay. Kaden definitely pity broke me right there. I mean, I didn't really have a very high pity rate, but still. He's kind of like the rival to Ranulf. Like, he's gonna be the unit everyone compares Ranulf to. And Kaden just is much better when it comes to support and in actual combat. Okay, 3.75. I do have summoning tickets, you know. I haven't done the the forging bonds yet. So maybe I could fish for the greenstones with those. That's gonna be Kagero. Okay. The Kagero also probably needs some kind of weapon refine. This poison dagger has got pathetic might. Oh my god. It's so measly. Like, I have never seen anyone use poison dagger like in months. Like, it's gonna be Riss. Alright then. Yeah, that's gonna be the final batch. I just have 4 orbs left. I cannot even do a YOLO summon now. So I'm gonna end it off with Riss minus speed IV plus defense Riss. I was able to get Lethe, Caineghis, and also Mordecai, all with minus HP IV. Also got some pretty good pity breakers on the way in Kaden and a Drift Female Corrin. Both of them are really good units. But I'm gonna be on the lookout for Ranulf because he's definitely gonna be really amazing for some of the theme battles for some Radiant Dawn maps. So that's why I definitely want to get Ranulf. So I'm gonna try with the summoning tickets whenever I complete the forging bonds. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please be sure to leave a like. It helps me tremendously. You can even tweet it at me on my Twitter. You can see the Twitter handle on your screen right now. And if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. And be sure to hit that notification bell and click on always so that you can get updates to my videos whenever I upload them. Because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional and about as unique as Har we're getting when you compare him to Shershi. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.